So moving day has finally arrived on Downing Street, and with it a shuffle of the political pack. After 10 years in waiting, the typically poker-faced Gordon Brown finally gets to play his hand. So what can we expect? Chancellors in the past have often left their successors to pick up the pieces of failed economic policy. But despite recent signs of a slowdown in the UK, some suggest his successor's biggest problem won't be a financial one.
He's going to be looking over the shoulder of his successor, whoever he or she is, and he's going to cast a mighty big shadow.
Mr Brown's time as the UK's longest-serving Chancellor gives us some insight into his priorities at home. His Calvinist perspective on work and welfare for one, and his decision to make the Bank of England independent shows that he can relinquish control. But when it comes to foreign policy, Mr Brown has certainly kept his cards a lot closer to his chest. How exactly he'll deal with Europe is one major uncertainty. His personal reputation in Brussels may be an issue. He has a track record for arriving late to meetings, leaving early, and sometimes never turning up at all. Those who know Mr Brown well, though, insist he is pro-European, but that he'll have to adapt as Prime Minister.
The problem for Brown is going to be that, as you know, with so many members, you can't win every battle in Europe. And at the moment, until now, Brown has given the impression that every battle in Europe must be won by the British, and that is just not possible.
And it's not just forging new relationships with Europe that Mr Brown will be thinking about. Renegotiating the special relationship with the White House could be a more complicated task. A staunch Atlanticist by reputation, Brown will nonetheless have to signal a step change in his dealings with America, perhaps keeping his fingers quietly crossed for the 2008 elections.
Brown's natural allies are the Democrats. He's got a very good relationship with Alan Greenspan. I'm sure that that will go on with the new Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Ben Bernanke. He's well respected in America. He has close ties, but he hasn't got a blind loyalty to the kind of thing we've witnessed. And of course, as we all know, America itself is now revolting against the neocons.
He clearly needn't worry about making friends in the US, though he doesn't have the high profile of Tony Blair with the American public.
Not real sure who that is. I don't know who that is.
His reputation among the Washington elite is not to be underestimated.
I have a high opinion of him. He's a smart guy, very substantive, and with strongly held views.
It may not matter who ends up in the White House. Mr Brown is a man known for doing things his way, and you can bet he has a few aces up his sleeve. Guy Johnson, CNBC Europe.